I'm Jim Grossi. I want to welcome you to the Wills Club Marina right here on the Pend Oreille River. This is where the Big Bass Junior Championships going to be held. We're here on an overcast day with my good friend and bass pro, probably one of the best bass fishermen in all of Idaho, Tony McCalmont. And we're going to show you this river and show you some of the hot spots.
Hi, I'm Tony McCalmont. I'm here with my good friend and Fishing Hall of Fame, Jim Grossi. We're here to take you out on a little ride on Lake Pend Oreille, prepare you for the Big Bass Junior Championship, talk a little bit about baits, talk a little bit about areas to fish, and we'll show you the lay of the land. Come along with us while we take a ride.
I take a breath, I'm not gonna lose. This is what I came here to do. I walk that wire and I take that step. Won't look down, got no regrets. Won't look down, got no regrets. I was made for this.
Here we are at the Dover Bridge, they call it. We're about 2/3 of the way between Anglers Inn at the launch point to the main lake, Lake Pend Oreille. We're still in the river, but we just want to stop at this bridge and kind of give you a look at it. There's a couple more bridges farther down, or up I should say. All of these of course are really good areas to catch fish any time of year, but especially in the fall during the Junior Championship where you all will be fishing. There's a lot of current at that time of year as they're dropping the lake, getting ready for the winter pool. All these pilings will be current breaks and really good feeding areas for big smallmouth and even largemouth on occasion. So make sure that you're checking those areas out. Main lake points, flat. The flatter the better for the smallmouth. Goodbye worries, no time to doubt. I feel the power, I won't be afraid. Fear won't stop me, I don't break. I was made for this, I was made for this. Born in the wild, formed in the fire.
The 95th Street Bridge, Highway 95, are called the Long Bridge, and it goes for over a mile into Sandpoint, and this is one of Tony's favorite spots to fish. These pilings and do a drop shot, sometimes wacky worm or creature bait. Great spot.
In the middle of the entrance to the Pend Oreille River, where the lake starts, or in this case ends, as we're coming downstream. The river runs down into Priest River and towards Anglers Inn, the Willis Club. So This area here is right outside of the town of Sandpoint. You will see, if you look at Google Earth, you'll notice it's a big shallow flat. There's a narrow river channel that's out this way, but most of this is very flat. We're sitting out here. We're 1/8 of a mile offshore, and it's 11 feet of water. So this bridge, just like the Highway 95 bridge that we just came through that Jim mentioned, a lot of fish live around these areas, these big flats. Don't expect these fish to be 30 and 40 feet deep, especially in October. I've caught fish at Thanksgiving on top water in the water temps in the 40s and 50s. So don't expect, especially this smallmouth, to be deep. The largemouth will be shallow on weed lines as well. As the water drops into the fall, it pulls a lot of fish out to weed lines and weed beds, but they don't necessarily live really deep. Most of the fish you're going to catch are going to be anywhere from 0 to 20 feet. And just look everywhere. Big flats, if there's rock on it, and weeds, even better. Different baits we'll go over in a little bit, but just kind of giving you the lay of the land as we run out of the river and head into the lake here. Okay guys, you've seen the lay of the lake, you've seen the river, and now we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the type of stuff you're going to be looking for and the baits to be using. Although there's always an exception to the rule, I'm going to show you the baits that I've been successful with on this lake. Won a lot of tournaments out here, and there's things that just work well for me. You may have something else that might be your thing, but I will say this: after everything that I talk about and Jim talks about, your #1 best lure is going to be confidence. Whatever you have confidence in, you will catch fish on. And don't take everything I say 100%. Don't take everything that Jim says 100%. These are tried and true baits up here in the north and this time of year. On these big flats, there's scattered rock and some weed clumps and that sort of thing. As we get a month from now into tournament time, you're going to see the water down of probably 3 or 4 feet from where we're at now. So things will look a little different. It'll be similar, but you'll see some of the shoreline. But baits everybody knows about: deep diving crankbaits, even shallow. Colors, our bait fish here primarily perch, yellow perch, and kokanee salmon. So a white with a blue back, or a perch color, or bluegill color, or crawdad. Crayfish are really big on the menu around here too, which brings me to another really strong bait, especially in the fall. A 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce swing head jig with some kind of creature bait on it is important. This happens to be a Strike King Rage Bug. It really doesn't matter as long as it looks like a crayfish. Green pumpkin, watermelon, you can't go wrong with those colors. If you try to get too carried away with colors, these crayfish are all going to be in around that green and brown stage, so a little bit of orange. Big fish bait around here that this time of year is going to be a swim bait. I like to throw either a 3.8 or 4.8 Kitech on. This is a Descent Jigs jig head. This is made by a couple buddies of mine locally right here in Post Falls. You can buy them at Becker's Tackle Shop in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. A 4.8 in a kokanee salmon color. This would be more for your perch eater. This would be more for your kokanee eater. Both of them work really well. This would be a Pro Blue Red Pearl in a Kitech 4.8 with a Matt Allen Dirty Jigs jig head on that one. 3/4, ½ ounce, even 3/8, but to get down to that 20 to 25 foot range, you're going to want a 3/4 or 1 ounce so it stays down. Once you start getting a little shallower, you can jump up to the ½ ounce or 3/8 and do really well. So those are really some of the key baits that I like to throw in the fall for smallmouth, primarily is what we're talking about. There will be some largemouth to target, more so in the shallow weed lines. Spinner bait's really good for those. I didn't mention a jerk bait, but that's going to be really good too. You know, if a guys like to throw big swim baits like a Huddleston's and a Baitsmith, and glide baits like the S-Wavers and Negotiators, and there are all kinds of ways to catch fish around here. Largemouth on weed lines, smallmouth on flats with rock. That's going to get you started. I wish you all the best of luck.
Hey, Tony and I are probably two of the most versatile fishermen, and that's something we want to tell you, is don't fish one bait too long. I don't care what confidence you have in it. If you're not catching a fish, move to another bait. And Tony is really good about that. One of the things we like is a drop shot, 18-inch leader, 3/8 to ½ ounce weight. We like the brown speckled with orange belly. Robo worms work real good. There's a variety of worms that you can use. I even go to the dark blues this year. I've done real good with those. If the weather's bad, good, and you're not getting bites, downsize your bait. And I've been going with these little 3-inch baits. The other thing is jerk baits. This one looks a lot like what we call our bluebacks here, which are the kokanee salmon, and that bait has done real good for us, and just work them very fast. As Tony said, on these flats or rocky points, those fish will be moving in and eating. Another great bait is wacky worm. I let them up, put the lead in the head or tail or both. The Ocho bait, the KVD, is an excellent bait in the brown with speckles, black pepper, or green like this one with some flake in it. An excellent bait. You'll see other worms like Yamamoto greens and whatnot. This is another Ocho here, a little different color with gold and speckles in it. Red flake is really good up here, but they love these wacky worms. If you work them deep, work them slow, you have a chance to probably catch a bigger fish. And the last thing we're going to show you real quick are these tube baits. Again, you'll see, as Tony mentioned earlier, they emulate a crayfish in color. This time of year, they're in a kind of a greenish brownish color, and you want to work them with a football head, 3/8 to ½ ounce football head inside, and that'll produce some great fish on this lake. Those will get big fish as well. But hey, whatever you do, enjoy your time here. Be versatile. I use a lot of spinning tackle. I use bait casting as well. You saw on Tony's presentation, bait casting reels. Having a couple of each kind is good, especially with your lighter baits. Go with this spinning reels and rods. Your rods, you want to be 7 foot to 7.5. 7.3 is a great size for me. I like the 7.3 and medium light action. Tony uses a lot of heavy action and medium heavy. So you pick what you're comfortable in. That's the main thing. As we said, confidence is the most important thing.
Can't get him.
I love it. I love it.
Almost hooked him too.
There you go. Good job, Tony.
There's a nice representation of a Pend Oreille River smallmouth. Caught that one on a football jig with a creature bait. It's a solid 3.5 pounder. It's gonna take a bigger one than that to win this thing, but that's a solid fish anywhere you go.
Tony said that he was going to get a big one today to show you what the big ones look like.
It's not all about smallies in this place. Look at this thing. That's probably winning you a boat in North Idaho. See if we can get it in a boat. Stay on there.
There's your Bass Cat boat right there.
That's it. Oh no, no, no.
See if we can get rid of Tony here.
I got it.
Nice job.
Yeah. Check this out, Jim. Look down her throat.
Look at that. Look at that.
Looks like a crappie tail, maybe. Whatever it is, it wasn't big enough. She wanted more.
Nice job, buddy.
Thanks, Jim. That's a big one. And wow, that's probably, you guys are lucky to see this. I have Jim's jerkbait stuck in my back, and I'm holding probably the biggest largemouth I've ever caught on Pend Oreille. I would not expect to catch one of those in the tournament, but that's, now I've caught bigger, but that one's over 6, wouldn't you say, Jim?
Yep. I'd say it's a good 7 pounder.
We'll get a weight and some photos and get this jerkbait out of my sweatshirt, and we'll let you know how much it weighed here in a little bit. Saw this fish under my bait, it showed itself. Oh, please don't come on. When she showed herself, I twitched it and she came back and got it. Oh man, that's a big smallmouth.
So if you're wondering, he's been using some surface lures here.
Oh, stay hooked, baby. There's no jerkbait behind me this
No
time.
jerkbait behind you. Just the cameraman here.
That's a lot of treble hook. I get scared when I see all those treble hooks.
Nice. Nice.
There's a smallmouth that's gonna hurt somebody. Be really careful with these because they're really dangerous, but that is a beautiful Pend Oreille smallmouth. We were hoping to show you some big fish today, Jim and I. It's early afternoon and we've got things we got to get home and do, but we just got lucky and got to show you a big largemouth that doesn't happen that often and a big smallie. And this fish is gorgeous. Look at that, Jim.
Beauty.
That is a 5-pound smallmouth on top water. Hey, and these things will eat top water in October too, just so you know. Wow.
I'm a soul on a wire, that's where I feel alive. Open up the skies. I'm a soul on a wire, that's where I feel alive. Open up the skies, I am free to fly. I was made for this, I was made for this. Born in the wild, born in the fire, built for the
7:30 at Willow Club Marina. And we were hoping to get some nice fish to show you what's here on the Pend Oreille River and out on the lake. You can see why this man here has won so many tournaments here, and he is, in my mind, the best fisherman in North Idaho. Tony also had the front of the boat, which he's the captain.
It helps, doesn't it?
It helps. But you know, we caught probably 15 fish. These are the two best ones out of the bunch. We're gonna let them go right here in the marina, and we're anxious for you to see this great facility up here and the water and the great fish. And this fish would have been a new bass boat. And good job, Tony.
Thank you. Yeah.
How about you release it, and I'll release this one.
Yeah, let's get them back in the water, guys.
Yeah. We're gonna let them go right here. They may not be here when you get here,
but they might be. We can't wait to see you. Good luck. Come see us when you get here.
All right.